Welcome back. I'm Uday Pratap Singh. You're joining us on Newsx. Our big focus this hour, Zubeen Garg tragically has passed away in Singapore while swimming with friends at the age of 52. His death has left behind an unmatchable musical legacy and millions of fans who are still struggling to accept this reality. Massive security concerns are expected when Zubeen Garg's body arrives back in Assam from Singapore. One hopes the state government takes every precaution to avoid any untoward incident. For Assam is weeping. Emotions are running high. His family and friends are remembering him as a jovial man with incredible talent. The Assam government will be conducting an inquiry now into singer Zubeen Garg's death. 18 people, including Garg, had gone on a yacht trip that involved swimming. The singer was later found floating in the sea. Garg was asked by the lifeguards to wear a life jacket many times. He put it on for a few seconds and then took it off, claiming that it was oversized and he was finding it tough to swim. Autopsy will be conducted on Saturday and hopefully his mortal remains would be brought to Assam in the evening after being found floating. Lifeguards had immediately administered CPR and rushed Garg to the Singapore General Hospital where he was declared dead. Well, it's been added that Singapore authorities are questioning those who accompanied the singer. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Assam Chief Minister Hemanta Biswa Sharma led tributes which had come in for Zubeen Garg. Also, many members of the music fraternity, the film industry have condoled Zubeen Garg's demise. Joining us now is a very special guest on Newsx. We have Anup Jalota, singer, Padma Shri awardee, live with us. Mr. Jalota, thank you very much for taking time out and speaking with us. I do know you are traveling, so appreciate you joining us as we pay tributes to Zubeen Garg. How would you remember him, sir? And what was your first reaction when you heard of this tragic news yesterday?
I was really shocked because I just met him 15 days ago and we were performing together in Mumbai in NCPA Tata Theatre to celebrate Shri Bhupen Hazarika's centenary function. We had many dignitaries there. Usha Mangeshkarji is there, Suresh Vadkar, and we all performed on stage. The craze, the love he had was really something very special. That evening we had mostly people from Assam in the audience. Everybody was crazy about him. When I met him, this was my second meeting with him once I met him in Guwahati long back. He was not popular around that time, but now he has achieved really big fame. But to leave suddenly like this and this kind of accident is very, very disturbing. Whoever is getting this news like this is upset, very, very upset. He was so bright when he met me a couple of weeks back in the concert. He was looking so bright. He was all set to go on stage. I just met him before he was going on stage after me. And he used to decorate himself so beautifully before going to stage. And his presence was very, very, very effective. Losing a singer like him is losing of a person with so many qualities. His presentation on stage was perfect, with so much bright numbers, with so much bright singing.
Yes. Yes. Mr. Jalota, I think we're losing you there. We're losing your connection a bit. I'll just try and get you back in a second because we also... Okay, you're back with us. Yes. We just lost your connection. You were telling us about him. How was his nature? Reportedly, his friends, his admirers say he had a very jovial nature. Sometimes, singers are very lively on stage, but very different off stage. How was he off stage when you would interact with him, sir?
Very good nature. He came to me, he touched my feet, that I've been listening to you and learning from you whenever I get to hear your recordings. So this is a very, very, very nice quality in young singers, this breed, and they respect their senior artists. They learn from them, not just by meeting, but listening to their music. All that I found in him, that humbleness, the respect for others,
Yes,
and at the same time, very, very serious about his work. His,
absolutely.
his presentation was very good.
Yes. Also, Anup Jalota ji, he made, of course, the country proud, but in particular, he made Assam and the Northeast very proud. It's very, very reassuring for talent from the Northeast, Anup Jalota ji, when they see people like, like Zubeen Garg and Papon and others succeeding as well. Zubeen at such a young age, that song Ya Ali went viral, from the film Gangster. Then he had so many other Bollywood songs. Of course, he had songs from Assam, Bengal. It's great for youth in the Northeast to aspire to be big singers when they saw Zubeen Garg do so well.
See, after Shri Bhupen Hazarika, because Bhupenda always presented music of Assam beautifully, the depth of Assam, the real story of Assam. After that, these two singers have done so well, Zubin and Papun. Papun is very close to me. I meet him because he lives in Bombay and often we meet, comes to my place also. And I was very keen that Zubin also I meet like that and speak to him for a longer time, know his music more. But listening to his music was always, one can feel that he is presenting his Assam. He should love his Assam. He was in so much connected with the music of Assam, the folk music, the story, everything. So his music presents his state the way he wanted to, the way Bhupenji also presented. So he has done lot of good thing to the music of Assam.
Yes.
One more thing I want to say, that if singer is not presenting his real folk music properly, then there is something lacking. He was presenting his folk,
Yeah.
the music of Assam, so beautifully,
True.
so beautifully. He had very good image. He had very good range in music. He had, one can tell that he has learned classical music the way he was presenting his songs. That music is not just that it was a gift for him.
True.
He has
True.
learned properly and he was singing. So there is a respect.
Yes.
People of Assam respect him, love him, and they will never forget him.
They will not. They will not. Okay, I have Malini Awasthi also joining me. Before I get her last question to you, Anup Jalota ji, before we let you go. Now, the Assam government has launched a probe as well. They want to investigate this as well, the circumstances of his death. Would you also encourage a probe, given that his fans were so shocked at the circumstance of this death? Would you welcome any sort of investigation or probe to find out exactly what happened?
See, the thing is that person is gone. We will not get him back. Now, all these things are okay. Let them try, let them find out why it happened. Is anything fishy about it or some just accident? All that I don't think matters to me. What matters to me is that we have lost a gem.
Absolutely. A gem who, of course, Assam was proud of, a gem who the Northeast was proud of, a gem who India was proud of, and a gem, of course, who Anup Jalota was proud of as well. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us with your perspective on this story and your tributes as well to Zubeen. Let me draw you in here, Malini Awasthi, a singer, Padma Shri awardee, who is live with us now. Malini Awasthi ji, how shocked were you yesterday when you got this news? What are your first thoughts on hearing about Zubeen Garg's demise?
Beyond words. I think I have no words to convey what I felt when I read on Twitter. In fact, somebody just texted me that, are you aware this has happened? I couldn't believe, because the way it has happened, it is so shocking for any artist, as bright, as talented as him, to leave so soon, and that too in such an unfortunate accident. I I I think what to say, because he won, I would say, music of India had so much hope in him. And why I say so is because Zubeen started very early. In fact, I have heard stories about Zubeen's sacrifices and his struggles, and how he really earned it hard way. And I am aware how he began his career also as being singing scratches for the more popular singers. At times, doing the cover versions. People were not aware, but some of beautiful, I would say, the cover songs were sung by him. And then, of course, he rose to phenomenal, by the hit of Gangster. But the beauty of everything is that he was a part of Bollywood, what you call the commercial music industry. He worked there, yet his heart and soul always belonged to his motherland, where he grew up, where he took inspiration from. And it was so inspiring, and personally to me so satisfying to see him tune Assamese, Bengali folk songs. And because it's very rare that you find singers who get into the commercial grit, continue to sing songs of soil. But here was a boy whose approach was also, he was a youth icon. So he was as popular amongst young people because he brought a very contemporary feel to the traditional folk music of Assam.
Absolutely.
And that's a big, big loss. In
Absolutely.
fact, I was just listening to what you were asking, Anupji. I would rather say that you should have an inquiry, because
yes, I would like to ask you that, because the Assam Chief Minister Hemanta Biswa Sharma has said that they will launch an inquiry, they will launch a probe into the circumstances in which he passed away. Reportedly, the organizers there are saying they were unaware of this private yacht trip which some locals took him on, in which he lost his accident there in the waters. What would you say on this probe and inquiry?
In fact, that is the first thing that shook me. Scuba diving, we all know, can be very fatal, can be very dangerous, especially for somebody who doesn't know swimming, or if sometimes the oxygen cylinder, goes bonkers, the cylinder gives up. Or if you meet with some accident or you hit rock bottom, meet the rocks inside the ocean. And I, for one, know, because I do snorkeling, I do gliding too, I do all underwater activities, and I have never experienced such kind of negligence, because people are very, very professional who actually, and especially if somebody was taking him down there, ought to have been, somebody professional, because Singapore is a very professional place. Yes. Otherwise also. It looks like some kind of maybe mishap, as I said, about the oxygen cylinder that you have to carry when you are either snorkeling, it's not required, but for this it is, scuba diving. Or maybe something, I don't know really, what can one say? I was just reminded of KK, how unfortunately, and this tragedy to having, it's very, very sad. And I think, not only all fans, I think everybody needs a closure. And it was an accident. Everybody knows that. We all have accepted this. Then it was a very, very unfortunate accident.
Absolutely.
And I believe he went there for a Northeast festival only to perform.
Exactly. My final question to you before we let you go, we have, I do believe that we have film producer Vish Bhatt also joining us now, and singer Shibani Kashyap. But Malini Awasthi ji, how will you remember him? And also, he really made the northeast of India proud with his folk music of Assam as well. Very often what happens is when singers, go to Bollywood, they just sing film songs. They sometimes forget, singing the local music. And it is very important to do that as well, to bring it to a global scale, to bring it to a national level. And that's something that Zubeen Garg continued doing.
That's what I said, that's commendable, that he was so well, doing so well in a part of the commercial grit, to move out of it and to continue, serving songs of your own soil and making them contemporary, he was again attending a Northeast Festival only. And that explains it. So it's, personally as an artist, I think it's a very, very big loss, very big loss. And I don't know about, I think it will take a lifelong, for the fans to get over this tragic loss.
Absolutely.
My condolences to the family and everybody concerned.
Malini Awasthi, thank you very much for joining us with your perspective and your tributes to Zubeen Garg. Let me bring in Shibani Kashyap now. Shibani, how shocked were you when you got this news yesterday? What was your first reaction? What are your first thoughts as we remember Zubeen Garg?
Hi everyone. So Uday, basically, I was at a music awards show last night, and it is so ironic that we were actually celebrating music yesterday, and I got the news, and I was like, oh my God, this is too shocking. It's unbelievable. And just now, I just got this information. I just read on Instagram that his wife has just said that he did not die because of scuba diving. He lost his life because he got a seizure while he was swimming. So I believe that is what the real cause of the death is. And whatever it is, it's very unfortunate. It's very tragic. It's just, and very, very untimely. And by the way, we've worked together on a song. We've many years back, of course, when he used to live more in Mumbai. Of course, then he moved back to Assam. So I got an opportunity to interact with him, to sing with him, and I related a lot to him because I play the guitar, he plays the guitar, and it was a really nice kind of a collaboration happening. We were at Ranjit Barot's studio, and I just really have to say that he's a fine musician, a sincere, fine musician who's not just, I mean, Bollywood is one thing, of course, he got his fame and everything through Bollywood, but he is a true rock star. He represents his origin, Northeast, so beautifully, and and that's what is he's so proud of where he comes from.
True.
And that is very rare to find in artists. When artists actually, they hold a signature of the place that they belong to, the culture. His music spoke about the culture, about so many causes, and he was a beautiful human being and a great musician, a sincere, true, and very, very iconic, I would say. I mean, I heard from so many people in Northeast that he was really worshipped. He was like a king of Northeast,
What was it about his music? Yeah, you're right. And that's why we're seeing the kind of reactions come in from Union Minister Kiran Rijiju to the Assam CM Himanta Biswa Sharma, even Prime Minister Modi, of course, as well, but also, Gaurav Gogoi, Member of Parliament from Assam, many others. They are all leading the fans in paying tributes to him. Fans, of course, are waiting for his body to come back as well. There's going to be a statewide tributes to him as well. What was it about his music, Shibani, that made him so popular?
So he had a very unique voice, and besides the fact that he was a fantastic singer, so I've heard him singing like in the studio because I was, on a one-on-one, up close and personal kind of a situation where we were practicing the song. My gosh, what a perfect pitch he had. He like he would not go Besura, which is like very, very rare. He was totally immersed in his practice and his riyaz and all of that, and he used to create music also, which is fantastic because he was not just a singer.
Yes.
He was a creator. He was a composer as well. So that's what I just loved about him. And he used to speak. There were times he used to do shows where he had stories in his songs. He used to speak about causes, about social causes, about the problems that Northeast has faced. And really, he was like an ambassador to Northeast. Like as we all know, he went to Singapore for this Northeastern
Yeah.
festival. So he was like the true representative of his culture from where
And
he came.
when youngsters, I'm sure, saw him achieve so much, they also felt that they can go from the Northeast to Mumbai and Singapore and wherever else.
Absolutely. They can be global.
Yeah.
And he was truly global.
Yeah. Okay. Finally, there's a probe now reportedly been ordered, an inquiry. Do you believe that is the need of the hour?
So as Malini ji said that yes, everybody wants closure on this. And Anup ji did mention that he's gone. We are not going to get him back. That is also the truth. We're not going to get him back. But the fact is that there'll always be this hanging question that what really happened, what went wrong, ऐसा क्या हुआ that why did he get that seizure while he was swimming or whatever happened. So I think a probe and a reality check and closure is what we are all looking for. Everybody should know the real reason why this happened, and also I mean, people in the future who visit countries abroad, people, artists, anybody, this is an example where people will have to be a little more careful about
Okay.
the waters.
Yes,
So
yes. Shibani Kashyap, appreciate you joining us with your tributes and your perspective on this big story. Let me also join Vish Bhatt, film producer, who's joining us on the broadcast as well. Vishesh, how shocked were you yesterday when you heard this news? What was your first reactions? How would you remember Zubeen Garg, Vishesh?
You know, it is, it's really shocking, Uday, to be very honest. What happened is that, and it's ironic, I just heard of this last night, and just few days ago, and actually a week ago, I was telling my dad that where is Zubin these days? It was just a random thing in the middle of the night. Something speaks to you and says that I haven't met him, I haven't interacted with him. It's been a long time. That where has Zubin gone? And it's really eerie. I messaged that to him, and then few days later, I was at a song recording and with certain colleagues and the younger lot which has come in, and I was telling them some of the stories of the good songs and the great songs we had done. And actually, Shreya was also there. Shreya Ghoshal was there at that place, and I was remembering Ya Ali, particularly as the song which we created in way back in 2006, but how fresh and um, how that it still plays, in people's hearts, and the digital media coming in. And Uday, honestly, this was just like on Wednesday that I was talking about him to Shreya Ghoshal and talking about the song Ya Ali. Then when I heard this news yesterday, today we are just on Saturday,
Yeah.
2 days later, it came as a rude shock. And I will say that, my memory of, if I can give an anecdote of how even Ya Ali happened.
Please do. We want to know more about that because, Yali really made him a household name. Vishesh Films is known for its hit music and he did that with Zubin as well. This boy from the Northeast suddenly became not just a star in India but across the world with that song as well. So please tell us, Vishesh.
Absolutely. So I think, Uday, I think it was against stars aligning, and this thirst and hunt. I think in our production company, it's also moral responsibility of sorts, but something that we really enjoy is giving uh, actors, musicians, singers, everybody the platform. The talent needs a platform for their voice to reach, across the globe. And that has been a mission for us for decades now. And because of which we have been able to get or find people like Zubin, hidden gems. But what happened with Yali specifically, I'll tell you, even I myself had just returned from film school in NYU in 2005-6, and Gangster was actually my debut film as co-producer. And we had this song called Yali, which was beautifully written by legendary lyric writer Saeed Qadri, and my friend, dear friend, composer Preetham. And I remember those days that we had actually got the song sung and tested by dozens and dozens of singers. I won't, it's not even exaggerating that. It would have been in the range of 30, 40 singers over months that we were getting that song sung by. And Preetham had sung it, as a composer with a certain feel and passion and everything else, which for some reason we were not being able to get it with most of the singers that we had gone to. And we were like, we need a voice, not only seeking a new voice to create a platform, but somebody that can create the magic that these words and this composition has. And we had almost given up, where my father and me were, and Anurag and everybody, we were all like encouraging Preetham that in a way, Preetham, ऐसा कर तू ही गा ले यार. Can you sing this song? कि तेरी जो feeling आ रही है इसमें से वो आएगी नहीं. And Preetham was being very shy about it, and that is why we kept going on with it. And then he called one day and he said, I have found a voice and I'm going to try it out. And he mentioned Zubeen's name from Assam, and we said, if you believe that, he says, I feel there's something magical that can happen. We said, let's give it a shot. We are not the people who will look for names. We look for the real talent and the voice that can do justice to this. And then Zubin came in. I remember meeting him way back in 2006, and his personality was so magical.
Yes.
That, like, I think what Shibani was saying earlier and everybody else, that he had that energy that we wanted for the song. Like, it was in his body language.
Mm-hmm.
And we could see that, and there's something felt like he would be, the person who could match the energy of the song and the passion.
Yes.
And he sang it, and we never, after him, we never made another singer sing it. He was the last and the final voice of Yali.
Yeah, absolutely.
And because once we heard that, we were like, this is it, and that was the power of his voice. That was the passion in his voice,
yeah,
and the soul in his voice,
yeah,
that resonated to us in that moment.
And the rest is history. The rest is history.
And 20 years later, we are still, people still hum this song. And it's not only people who are around that time. It's an interesting thing that's happened with YouTube and everything else, that the younger generation who's born maybe, after that, is discovering Ya Ali as a song.
Yep.
And I'm sure that
they will continue to. They will miss
this voice not existing around us,
How was he on the sets? How was he in the studio when you interacted with him?
He's a live wire. He was a live wire. And that is what it is. I think that energy and his personality, like I said, is what shows, you can hear the vocals, but the vocals have this person behind who's a live wire. Like, all the work that he's done over the years, that people say in so many languages and so many things, is that he was deeper than the ocean and bigger, larger than, taller than the mountains in terms of what he is. And that was the energy that he had inside him. And you could kind of see that, and that's what he brought to his craft, to his whatever he worked on.
Yeah.
And it somebody had to just tap it. And from, at least I know in the Northeast, that a lot of people were, very aware of it. And I think it's a privilege that we got to give him to get this song sung by him and all of India and the world.
Assam is in a state of shock today. In fact, the whole Northeast is in a state of shock today. Would you support demands for a probe and inquiry into what really happened? Very, very untimely death. All of a sudden, one day, suddenly you saw a video of his promoting that Northeast festival, and he's gone in the waters in this manner. Do you believe an inquiry is needed?
Uday, I think what breaks my heart when a news like this comes in is that a similar thing happened when I heard the news of KK. Just after his concert, singing one of the songs that he, with us, that he's done. KK had also done a lot of songs with us. And, and I will be very honest that we were just shocked when we heard it. And I have a similar, I got a similar feeling that gone too soon when I heard of Zubin's thing, and I mean, it's so tragic because in Gangster on the album, the two lead big songs and the two lead singers, one is
Are both
KK
gone. Yeah.
and Zubin, are gone too soon. You know, they didn't need to go that soon. You know, they were young, vibrant. They had a lot in them,
Yes.
and I wished a lot of songs. We could do a lot more in the future. And coming to the point, I think that when these sudden things happen, right, we are all in shock at that point, and we don't want to accept it because they've gone before their time, and the talent that they leave and the legacy that they will leave behind. But I actually don't know much about exactly what the accident occurred. I heard a lot of other panelists or people talking here is that for us, he's gone,
Yeah.
and doing a probe, if required, must be done. But if it's, if you're misdirecting our, passion and love or anger for him, trying to find closure, then that is not fair to his memory and his family as well.
Okay.
If it's required, it should be done.
Okay.
But if it's a sudden, tragic incident, then I guess we have to just, live with it.
Absolutely.
There's nothing else.
Absolutely. But it is untimely, of course, as you said, and which is why the nation is in a state of shock. But tributes, of course, continue to pour in, and his music will live on, his legacy will live on. Thank you very much, Vish Bhatt, for joining us with your perspective on this story and your tributes as well for Zubeen Garg. All right, on that note, we're taking a very short break. We're back on the other side with lots more.